The magnitude 6.8 in this squalling earthquake of 2001 was a wake-up call, but what comes next could be far, far worse. The worst, something along the lines of the 2011 magnitude 9.1 with a tsunami in Japan.
How about life safety? How about seismic safety? Let's put priorities where priorities need to be.
Eric Holdeman is the former head of King County Emergency Management and a national expert on preparedness. He says the state isn't doing enough.
If life safety is important, why don't we have the state of Washington stepping up and trying to provide funds for that also?
And part of this question is who needs to be involved.
This is a meeting of the governor's Resilient Washington sub-cabinet. It's not just about whether we're prepared, but can our schools, our infrastructure bounce back once the quake is over? Can we get back to normal?
And these are public safety issues. Now, we got a lot to argue about here in Olympia. We got all kinds of different philosophical ideas, but keeping your kids safe in a school ought to be something we share.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee expressing frustration over an education funding agreement reached earlier this year, but included no money to even assess which schools are the most vulnerable to earthquakes and tsunamis.
Go to the stair tower.
It is interesting to note that the most prepared building in the state is a school, the Acosta School in Westport, which is built to withstand not just an earthquake, but the coastal tsunami expected to follow, allowing both kids and the community to seek refuge on its roof. But the money to build it did not come from the state or the feds, but came from the local community itself.
We're doing what we can, but it's not enough.
Maximilian Dixon is with State Emergency Management. He says take the state of Oregon.
And to date, they have put in over $200 million since 2009 for retrofitting schools and key facilities. They also created the governor's resilience office. So these are things that we don't have here in Washington State.
To move forward, Emergency Management Director Robert Ezell says the state needs its own office focused on just what money is needed from the legislature.
It's time to start focusing on building resiliency, school seismic safety, building codes, and the other things that we need to be doing to build resiliency here in Washington.
As Washington's considered the second most earthquake vulnerable state in the nation. In Olympia, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.